come and learn, because there are things that you cannot just learn in the classroom. There are things that you cannot just learn from reading a book. There are things that you must learn from getting a first-hand experience for yourself, and that is what this video is all about. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you join me once again. If you're a returning subscriber, you know I love and I appreciate you. And if this is your first time coming here, please kindly remember to subscribe to my channel and to also click on the notification bell so that you could get notified whenever I upload a new video. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the last thing you should do before starting your own business. Most times when people have acquired a skill or have decided on the kind of business they want to go into and probably have the money, the next thing they do is to start looking for a business location, to set up a shop, to set up an office, or to just take money and invest into something because they feel like they've gathered enough knowledge. That is important. I mean, it's important to be well trained in any kind of business you want to go to, be it fashion designing, be it catering, be it buying and selling of anything, or be it a service that you have to render to the society. It is very important that in as much as you have acquired a skill or a particular training in a given field, it's very important that you do what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So do not change the channel, stay with me, and let's learn this today. What is important for you to do once you have acquired a skill and you are ready to start your own business, maybe you even have the finances, is internship. Yeah, internship is very, very important. But a lot of young people these days do not want to go through the struggles or through the stress of being an intern in a firm or in an organization because they are so eager to start their own business. Their blood is so pumped up to start it. Then when they start, they discover that it's so tough, it's so hard. They either want to pack up or they start getting frustrated. By then, you've lost money, you've lost time, and you've even lost some prospective clients. Why is internship important? Personally, when I decided that I was going to become a fashion designer, like I told you in my first video, if you haven't watched my introductory video, please go back and watch it. I said I studied clothing and textile from the university. So it was beyond the classroom knowledge I had. I mean, back then, I went to a federal university where about 100 in my department and we had less than 10 machines. How in God's name are we going to be able to have visible practicals? It wasn't possible. So there was no way I was just going to go to the university and graduate and start my own business. It was going to be an utter failure and a major disaster. So in my third year, we usually are obligated to go through compulsory internship. Now, if you decide that you want to go into food and catering aspects of the course, you could do your internship in a catering house or in a hotel. But if you are a clothing and textile student, like I was then, you would go to a fashion house. Many people didn't want to go into clothing and textile because whichever fashion house you applied for so that they could consider you for internship, they weren't going to pay you. And my mates then, most of them were looking for the places that they would get paid. For example, some of them that went to the hotel, they got paid about 10,000 naira monthly. And I was also looking beyond my immediate environment, which was Makurdi, Benue State, because I felt like there was more in the fashion industry for me to know beyond just cutting and making outfits. So I searched online for the best fashion schools in Nigeria, and I went to OSC College of Fashion, Ikeja, Lagos for my internship. My internship was for a duration of 6 months. Then I had an extra 3 months to stay back because we were on the strike, a nationwide strike as at that time. During the course of my internship, I learned a lot from the organization. I learned how to how to handle customers. I learned how to handle students that came in for fashion training. I learned how to fabric source. I learned how to sell. I learned fabric merchandising, amongst other things. There's no way I would have learned all that by just going to a fashion school and coming out. But the problem is that we do not want to go through internship because we feel like it's waste of time. You don't want to serve. If you do not stay in an environment where someone is already practicing your dream, how are you going to be able to know the challenges that that particular business face? How are you going to know how to tackle difficult clients when they come? How are you going to know how to effectively and efficiently communicate your knowledge to your students to learn? I'm talking about being a fashion designer, but whatever business field that you find yourself, you have to know that money is not always the most important thing. But we young people, if you are going anywhere and they say they are not paying you, you are leaving. I did my internship for 8 to 9 months, and the distance, for those of you that know Lagos, Nigeria, I was staying in Ojo with an uncle and his family. Then the fashion house was at Ikeja. That's about 800 naira to 1,000 naira transport daily. I wasn't paid a dime where I was having my internship. It wasn't easy for me with the Lagos traffic and I was only 17. I was so young. It wasn't funny at all. But I pulled through, and that became the bedrock of my career as a fashion designer. I learned so much. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to handle customers. I learned how to shop fabric. I mean, I was all over Lagos shopping fabric for my boss, supplying clothes to ShopRite Ikeja. We had a spot at Grey Velvet then. We also had another outlet at I can't remember, I think Surulere also. So I learned how to do all that. I learned how to pack kits for students. When I eventually came back and I started my business, people knew that there was something different about, even though then I was still working from the home, people knew that there was something different because of the orientation I had, because of the first-hand experience I had. But by the time you just jump and go and open your business without having to intern somewhere, the challenges will overwhelm you. Secondly, if you apply for a post of an intern, to be an intern somewhere, they may pay you and they may not. In fact, some organizations ask you to pay them, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's you trying to gain a first-hand experience. If you do not find, then you volunteer. For example, if you read law or if you learn something, maybe event management, you can volunteer. You can check up big events companies that you like, and you can volunteer. Please, I want to work for you for free for 6 months. At least the duration for internship should be between 6 months to a year and a half, or even 2 years. It takes time. So you have to even try to say, okay, let me volunteer to work here. Just like I said earlier on in this video, money is not everything. Money should not be the primary and major reason why if you go somewhere. Okay, take back to when I went for intern back then. Most of my mates that were on a salary of 10,000. Fast forward to the present day, I'm now running my own business, and some of them are still there because they were looking for the now money, for what I will benefit now. If you have an elder uncle, a parent that are already doing what you want to do during your holiday period, instead of just sitting at home pressing your phone, it's better you go and join them in the field out there to have a first-hand experience, to know the challenges they face, to know the amount of losses and gain the experience per month, per annum. It will help you to be able to plan, to have your paperwork and your documentation properly to be able to start your own business. The importance of internship for an upcoming entrepreneur cannot be overemphasized. So it is very important that you look within, look at people that you look up to in the industry. Some of them you may be able to have access to, others you may not be able to have access to. For those that you can have access to, volunteer, have a good character, have a reputable character that they will be willing to teach you. When I went to intern at OSC College of Fashion, then there were other interns with me from other universities around the country, some from polytechnics. Some of them had attitude problem. Whenever they were sent on errands, they would get so mad, they would hiss, they would frown, they would drag their feet and all that. Some of them eventually left, but I stayed through. alongside doing one of my friends from Abeokuta. We stayed through to the end. Today she has her own fashion business that she's running very, very well. Some of them will not dress properly to work, because if you are not properly dressed, our boss will not want to take you out, or she will not want to send you. But I made sure at the end of the day, I earned her trust. She gave me keys to her office. I earned her trust by my character. If you are going to intern in an organization, you should have a reputable character. You should be honest. You should be loyal. You should be punctual to work. Keep away every form of bitterness or strife and all that. It's better to be humble so that you can learn, so that they can teach you. And this is why most of our Igbo folks in Nigeria do so well. At a very tender age, they are moved to the marketplace to go and stay with someone that is into a particular form of business. They serve for about 7 years. I'm even saying that internship should be at least a year or 2 years. They serve for about 7, some even 10 years before they are settled by their oga or madam in quote. And at the end of the day, they go and start their business. Why is it that they don't just give them 1 million and say, go and start your business? Because they know the importance of sitting under someone that has been there, that has gained experience over the years, to learn from that person so that you do not repeat some mistakes. And it's very important. Also, when I was having my intern, I had a logbook that I filled information of things that happened daily. And I also had a private book that I took them down. I learned a lot. I learned how to handle customers. I learned how to source fabric. I learned how to select styles. I learned how to run a proper organization, how to separate your costs from money for diesel or fuel, taxes and all that. The right time students should come, how to deal with difficult stuff. Because sometimes if you start your own business, you discover that you even employ people that are older than you. Most of the people that have worked with me are older than me age-wise, but I learned to respect them, and I learned to also earn their respect, because respect is earned and not forced, so that we will not have clash in our working environment. And you also learn how to make your workers comfortable so that they will give their best to your business. So it's very, very, very important. If you have gone to learn a particular skill or a trade, or if there's a business you want to start, it may be any form of business, try and see how you can go and sit under someone that is already doing well, someone that's already established, someone that has been in that field for years. Try and go and sit there and learn under that person diligently for a couple of months or at least 2 years before you go and start. There are mistakes that you will avoid, and eventually when you start your own business, other people will also come and learn, because there are things that you cannot just learn in the classroom. There are things that you cannot just learn from reading a book. There are things that you must learn from getting a first-hand experience for yourself, and that is what this video is all about. So if you have the money to start a business, the money is not running, it's not going to expire. You could save it up in the bank while you try to see. The place for your internship may be within or outside the environment. For me, I had to travel from Benin to Lagos because I felt that Lagos had the kind of exposure that I wanted. And Lagos had something that if I were to bring back to Benin, it would make me succeed easily in my pathway in being a fashion entrepreneur. So whatever skill you have, whatever you want to do, try as much as possible. Remember, like I said, do not put money as your utmost priority when trying to intern somewhere or when trying to volunteer. Learn to volunteer to work in a firm or under someone. It is going to help you. It is going to help you. It's going to save you from a whole lot of trouble. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so excited that you got to watch this video to the end. Let me hear your opinion about internship and the popular apprenticeship that the Igbos in Nigeria do. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share, don't forget to click on the notification bell, and if you have watched this, please tell me why you won't subscribe and be a part of this wonderful family. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.